They're being followed by another one of our sponsors, Plymouth Rehab and Radius Center, and they are bringing us today the historic float number 5, Turkey in the Wild.
This is your favorite one because it's wild.
Yes.
It hasn't
I
been
get a little
yet.
Disturbed later, but
Yes,
now I'm good
one.
with this.
And those original turkeys ran 25 miles an hour, Donna. You really had to catch them back at 1620.
So you earned the turkey.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because what we think of as turkey today, you know, those animals looked very different. And
that's right.
People who aren't from this area might not realize we do have a lot of wild turkeys still running through the neighborhoods, running through the streets. We see them every day.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
They're bold, too.
You almost think, is it just because we're in Plymouth? They are
everywhere.
You're from North Plymouth all the way down to where I live in the southern part of town. They're everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
And here, actually, this is another group of our sponsors. We are very lucky in this area with our legislative contingent, the folks who support us all the time. So we'd like to say thank you. This is from Senate President Therese Murray, Vinnie DiMacedo, Tom Coulter, and also County Treasurer Tom O'Brien. Thank you for everything you do to support all of us every day, not just at parade time.
Well, it's certainly exciting for us to be able to help support one of these, in a very small way, one of these groups coming through because, as I say, it takes a whole bunch of people to come together and make this a reality, and so we're honored to be part of this in a small way.
Well, that's what makes this parade so successful. So many parts of the community have investment in it. That's why it turns into a living room. It's not just because we're all in Plymouth.
And I think that's what just adds to the mystique of the whole event. And that's what I think brings people back every year and brings new people every year. So if you're watching us on television today, I hope we'll be seeing you out here next year.
There's the USS Constitution Color Guard. Following them, of course, the USS Constitution, one of the first commissioned naval warships in America, up here in Massachusetts. Still commissioned, still anchored up there in Boston. And, of course, it's followed by a banner for the Colony Place. And a Colony Place right here in Plymouth, who are actually sponsoring as well the Connecticut Valley Field Music. And let's listen to this Fife and Drum Corps playing historical selections and arrangements from the Appalachian fiddle music.
Bridgewater Credit Union. They're one of our new sponsors, and they're sponsoring the Hedge House of 1809. A historic float to
So here we have the Bridgewater Credit Union that's sponsoring the Hedge House. Historians have noted that when the Constitution was ratified in 1789, it created a more perfect union. That did the original, more than the original Articles of the Confederation, our first Constitution. They ornately detailed the process of how decisions would be made and the due process of law. This was the essence of the architecture of self-government. That is why the artisans have dubbed this architecture of homes dotting the landscape about that time, the period of the federal architecture.
And look at
that beautiful building. And, of course, if you really want to see it, the actual building is right down the road here, right on Water Street, right next
to
What a beautiful
depiction of federal architecture. That's what, and there are people who do tours of federal architecture, like me, but also more people who like to see it.
Exactly.
And the Plymouth Antiquarian Society, founded in 1919, is the group that has been renovating this home and caring for a number of other historic homes in the Plymouth area.
And just a quick little shout out to the person who worked on this. Carl Leckberg is just an incredible talent.
What an
and
artist.
his wife, Ann Davis, and they have just spent hours and hours. And they're also responsible, you're going to see, for the Nathaniel Morton School.
That's right.
So we'll be able to talk more about that in a few minutes, too. Right now we have the Norwich University Corps. They represent 194 years of military tradition. The school was founded in 1819 in Norwich, Vermont. It's the oldest private military college in the country, and it's recognized as the birthplace of the Reserve Officers Training Corps, the ROTC. They're being followed by the New England Mounted Artillery. The Mounted Artillery of New England is a Civil War period living history unit which portrays a Civil War mounted artillery team. All of the equipment, tack, and uniforms are authentic in every detail to a Civil War period artillery team. And this is an extremely rare sight in the New England area.
Yes. And, you recognize that, look at that view down there at Coles Hill with that flag. We finally got it tied down from the wind.
Well, we have a beautiful fall breeze here today.
And you see this is followed by one of our another sponsors, Brewster Ambulance, who has sponsored the Lincoln Float. And, of course, this one commemorates the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's proclamation for Thanksgiving. Look at that float from the log cabin to the White House. And here we have Abraham Lincoln on the front of that float, as well as one of his escorts. There were no Secret Service back when Lincoln was president, but he did have military escorts when he would go about. And so we have a recreated military escort there with him. There's Abraham Lincoln. And boy, when he's quite an actor, isn't he? He's not just someone who looks like him.
He certainly does. He
knows
does
Lincoln
a great job.
inside and out.
And we'd like to thank him for joining us in the opening ceremonies as well. It's an amazing float. It's absolutely beautiful.
Now followed right behind him is the 25th Massachusetts New England Brigade. We welcome the 25th Massachusetts Infantry, reenactors of the American Civil War. The New England Brigade is comprised of many different Civil War living history groups from all over the region. And followed right behind them are the National Guard Lancers. They were organized in 1836 to provide mounted escorts for the governor, as well as enforce the law and defend from invasion and insurrection. They now serve as a ceremonial unit in the Massachusetts National Guard.
Organized in 1836 to provide mounted escort for the governor.
So the parade is moving right along. We're into Division 3 now.
Yeah.
We have a lot more coming. We have
we're
another
up to the 1860s, Vinny, so we're moving. But that's what makes this parade so interesting. It's chronologically done.
So you have a sense of when the next float is coming.
That's right. You have kind of an idea that you are moving along in history here.
Now, the one of the things that's so exciting about this entire event is the number of volunteers that are a part of it.
Yes.
Ollie DiMacedo, parade director, talked with us about the volunteers and what they mean to America's hometown Thanksgiving celebration. People literally work year-round
they do.
to put this together, whether it's developing floats, building floats, coordinating all of the events and all of the bands and people who come from all over the country. It's just an awesome undertaking.
And the volunteers, they move through stages. We have a design stage. What are the themes going to be? And then putting it into practice, and then down to the actual craftsmanship of the floats, and then all the other infrastructure. It's phenomenal.
And you know what? The coordination is just amazing. And we have Mike McCourt doing security. We have Dave Leibarger doing coordination over all of it. It is, every day somebody is out there trying to make this thing happen. Way beyond. And so that's why we're so excited about the weather, because I think we all know at the beginning of this week we were all a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Well, we visited with our friend Randy Price over at Channel 5 on Wednesday, and that was our one question for him. We asked if he had an in, given that Cindy Fitzgibbons is their new, their new meteorologist, if she could help us out and arrange to push that weather away that they were forecasting. And look what happened. We have a perfect day, and we have another amazing drum and bugle corps headed down the street. This is the Westchester Brassmen Corps. They come to us from Harrison, New York, and we're going to let you enjoy them as they walk by the review stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Westchester Brassmen. Westchester Brassmen. Right behind them we have Quincy College. They're sponsoring, once again, our next float.
Okay, we had the...
This is where I get a little disturbed,
Yes,
Paul.
but this is the Quincy College, and of course they're sponsoring Donna's favorite float. That's dinner time. The turkey has been cooked.
That's it.
Just to see it so close,
actually, both
the
floats
running happy
are working.
turkey and that is a good thing as well. We're happy.
Yes,
We're thankful for that.
And let me just
look at the detail even of that float. I mean,
it is. It's nice. So just to follow up on Quincy College, they're right here in Plymouth as well,
they are.
and
Yes,
they've
they are.
done just a great opportunity for young men and women coming out of high school and giving them a great opportunity at an affordable price. And I've been a real fan of what they've done providing education here at the college level.
The Plymouth area has become a growing area for satellites for a number of our wonderful colleges here in Massachusetts. We are very lucky with the educational institutions we have in our community.
It is. But look at this. We have the 1860 Wells Fargo Stagecoach. And for most of us who watch Westerns, this is a great example of that. Here's an authentic stagecoach from 1860. They used to carry mail, money, and gold. In 1852, Henry Wells and William Fargo founded Wells Fargo Company to serve the West. The new company offered banking, buying gold, and selling paper bank drafts as good as gold.
And look at who's racing in behind them. It's the Equestrian Element Riding School Cowgirls. And this is actually a group from the Plymouth area.
Yes.
And they have a school that gives lessons specifically in riding, horsemanship, and grooming. They really emphasize the fact that practice leads to better understanding of the skills you need to be able to work with and ride your horse successfully. And look at how gorgeous they are.
They sure are. And, of course, that Wells Fargo wagon, Vinny, that came by there, that's when money was gold.
That's right. A while ago.
And, yeah, it is a while ago. But it's tremendous. Again, the whole parade is a history lesson.
Look, you can see as they ride off, you can see the ocean in the distance. There. It's beautiful.
Excellent shot.
It really is. And we are blessed for the weather we have down here today. It's just been a perfect day. For those of you, if you are watching our live coverage and you want to join in and see some of the fun behind-the-scenes things that are happening, you can visit PACTV either on Facebook or you can follow along on Twitter by taking a look at hashtag PACTV Media or hashtag USA Thanksgiving. We're tweeting pictures. We're letting people know what's going to be coming down the street next. So if you are a social media maven, jump on and have fun with us. Oh, yes. And here we go. One of the other things that's really interesting as a fundraiser that's done every year for the parade is locally they have paper turkeys available.
That's
and
right.
There's always the local grocery stores are so supportive. And this year the market down in Pine Hills in southern Plymouth, you came in first for raising money for the parade. So we'd like to thank them.
My daughter Emily works there, and she said it was just amazing, the people that were coming in and just giving donations. It was just phenomenal. Just seeing people, in the Pine Hills. They're not all, they're new to the area, many of them, and they just were incredibly generous. And let's thank the market. A great little supermarket down in the Pine Hills area of Plymouth.
And of course they're followed by the Connecticut Alumni. Again, favorite drum and bugle corps here coming to Plymouth. Let's hear them as they go by the reviewing stand. And
Again, our proud sponsors, Sheriff Joe McDonald and District Attorney Tim Cruz. Thank you very much.
And I see the Cycling Murphys following.
And this bicycle may date back as far as 1418. But the ones you see in this parade date back to the 1870s, and the Cycling Murrays and from Cambridge and Harvard Square are back with us this time again for the Thanksgiving.
Do you know my brother and I ride unicycles?
I've heard that, actually.
We haven't done it for a while, but one of these days, maybe we should do it in pilgrim costume.
If you could do that with playing your accordion, I will be impressed.
Now, Vinny, you were not supposed to reveal that. But
now,
I
Paul,
tell you, a unicycle is a tremendously hard thing.
I think you should take a walk down right now. We're on the waterfront this year. There's no reason you can't jump in.
I'm stuck here because I'm between the two of you and I can't get out. But the point is that unicycle is not as easy as it may look when you see that.
It certainly is not.
I had a lot of scrapes and bruises.
And how long is the parade route?
Oh, we're talking a mile and a half to 2 miles? Or,
it might be even a little bit longer than that. So,
and they have been at it this whole time. That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
I don't say it right now. I could do the whole parade route on the unicycle, Vinny. I just want to make sure that it's clear disclosure from the beginning.
We'd be happy to, Paul, if next year, if you'd like to, dress as a pilgrim and hit the whole route, we would be happy to capture every moment. We would send a camera person with you for the whole route.
What's the next unit coming down the parade?
And I'll follow you with the old Colony Model T cars.
There you go. You're on. Well, now we've gone from Division 3 to Division 4.
So we're into the 1900s
We're in
now,
the 1900s.
correct?
Now these automobiles, of course, they're spread out, but
we spread them out, but they would be appropriate for the historic time frame that we're doing.
We're getting closer now.
And in this division, we're going to start seeing more artillery vehicles as well.
That's right, as we go into the 1900s. And there are some other heroes that we've been mentioning that are going to be coming down the street now as we build up toward the present day.
Yes. Now, for those of you who are watching this over Thanksgiving weekend, we'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And we also would like to thank all of our local television stations and public access centers around the country that play America's Hometown Parade over Thanksgiving weekend. It really is an amazing collection of nonprofit community people in every local town that really support local television programming.
Absolutely.
If you'd like to get information about the replays, particularly for PACTV, if you are in Duxbury, Kingston, Plymouth, or Pembroke, please visit PACTV.org. And if you would like information on whether or not the parade will be in your communities across the country, if you're watching us on our live stream, feel free to send us an email at info@PACTV.org. Now we're starting to see some of these military vehicles that we were talking about.
There's a big one, Donna, coming down the street here. This
now,
looks
is this the Deuce and a half?
Yeah, I think so.
Aha. See, I have to check with the gentleman. Vinny knows his vehicle, so he's giving me the high side to let me know that I'm correct.
This is a 1954 Army truck. And if you look at the back, it's very similar to what you would see in a tank, but yet the wheels in the front.
And it's a U.S. military cargo truck. It was used by the United States in Korea, Vietnam, and Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom. It's actually owned by a gentleman who's a military vehicle collector who's been kind enough to bring it to our parade this year.
The size of that, it's just really amazing.
This is exciting. Followed up here is Nathaniel Morton, the Nathaniel Morton School.
And they're celebrating an anniversary this year, aren't they?
That's right, 100 years.
And you know, the Nathaniel Morton himself, that actually the school was named after, was a philanthropist right here in Plymouth. Morton Park is named after him.
That is correct.
But he's a descendant of Ephraim Morton, who's the brother of the Nathaniel Morton, who was a secretary to William Bradford. I'm sure you got all that
I need a
down.
diagram.
But anyway, this is, but really, there's 3 generations of graduates from the 1950s all the way up on top
wonderful.
of this, and 100 students following behind. Just tremendous.
And Nathaniel Morton, I get a little tidbit too. My son actually is an actor at the Plymouth Plantation, and he is Nathaniel Morton.
That's right.
So
that's wonderful.
He was there when we did the assembly to the Morton School.
These students had such a wonderful time. They were invited out to the float barn this week to be able to see the replica of their school, and they were so proud to be there. And our media partner, WCVB Channel 5, also came down to visit with the kids one morning as well.
Yes.
You think about it, 100 years of providing education right here in Plymouth at that beautiful
it was the first high school.
So
I mean, this was the high school, and then, of course, became just up to junior high and then up to 5th grade. So tremendous. I enjoyed working with Michael Spencer there and doing an assembly with them with Abe Lincoln. We brought Abe Lincoln to the school, and it was tremendous. And so we had a great time, and I gave tours of the float to the students when they arrived.
That's fantastic.
So it was really great.
Well, you can tell by the looks on all of their faces as they were walking through that they've been enjoying every minute of their trip through Plymouth Center in the parade.
How many times do
we
walk through town and get cheered?
Yeah, exactly.
By that many
actually
people.
must feel good.
Yeah, I bet it does.
You know,
everybody is smiling at you as you're walking down the street also.
We have a great school system here in the town of Plymouth, led by Gary Maestas, who's the superintendent of schools. And it's just each and every year they're getting better and better. And even though this school is 100 years old, they just provide a real quality education, and they've been great. They've been great. And, you know, the teachers don't have necessarily the same advantages as other. We have Plymouth North that's a brand new school, but right around the corner we have this beautiful 100-year-old school.
And as we know, it's about the teachers, it's about the education,
right. not the building. But we're proud that it's 100 years old.
And it's something that should be celebrated. And I believe, is this the Column-Sill Pipes and Drums that are walking through right now?
So. Yep.
Pipes and Drums, and they come to us from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And they were founded as recently as 2001. There we go. And I believe is this the World War II track truck?
I believe
that is coming through now, driven by Tim Sanderson.
Coming right behind the ambulance.
And then it's being followed by Brewster Ambulance Company, which is one of our main sponsors. They also have one of their ambulances from 1941 in the parade today. And speaking of the Plymouth schools, following right behind is a group that we are all so proud of.
Yes, this, of course, is our own Plymouth High School North and South Marching Band. Let's listen to